Good morning, my darlings. If you're mom and dad, then go get your little ones so they can have their story time. And if you are my little lovey, then I am so glad to see you this morning or afternoon or evening. It doesn't matter when. I'm always glad to see you. Today we're going to have a story from Snuggle Time Short Stories. And the story that I've picked out for you is the story of the brave little acorn. Yes, there he is sitting on the branch. Yep, time for him to get off that branch. Okay, so shall we begin? Yes. A mighty oak tree stood deep in the heart of a big green forest. High up on one of its strongest branches lived a little acorn, and his name was Oliver. Oliver was small and round and full of dreams. Oliver often said, "I want to grow into the biggest, strongest tree in the forest." He had big plans for himself. Other acorns, though, they just giggled. "You're too little," they said. "And the ground is far, far down." Oliver knew that to become a great tree, he had to let go and to fall to the forest floor. The thought of dropping from his branch so far up made him nervous. "What if I fall in the wrong place?" he thought. "What if I get caught on another branch and never make it to the ground?" he thought. "What if I never grow?" He was a little afraid, I would say. Would you be afraid if you were the little acorn? Day after day, the wind whistled through the trees, gently shaking the branches. Oliver watched as some of his acorn friends tumbled down. One by one, they went to the ground. No matter how much the wind blew, Oliver, he held on tightly. He wasn't going to let go. He couldn't find his courage yet. One evening, a wise old owl landed on the branch beside Oliver. "Little acorn, why do you look so worried?" he said. Oliver responded, "But I'm afraid to fall. I do want to grow into a big oak tree." Well, the owl smiled kindly. He said, "Every big tree started just like you. It's scary to let go, but sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to take the first step." That's what he said. Take the first step means you gotta try. Oliver thought about the owl's words as the night breeze rustled through the leaves. The leaves were shaking a little bit. It was nice and windy, just a kind, soft, friendly kind of breeze. Then a deep breath, and he let go. Oh, wow, he did. He finally did it. He fell down, down, down. He tumbled into the soft earth below. And at first, everything felt so different. The forest floor was cool and damp. He was used to being up on the branch where it was dry and warm. Oliver missed his branch. It had made him feel safe. And now he was free in the soil. That's where all little acorns have to go after a while. He felt a little nervous. But as the days passed, guess what happened? He felt something wonderful happening. His shell cracked open, and a tiny little root stretched out into the soil. The soil felt soft and cool and welcoming. It was so damp and dewy. "I'm growing," Oliver whispered excitedly. Yes, he was so excited because he knew he was going to get bigger. And remember, he wanted to be one of the biggest trees in the forest, and he knew to start that he had to start growing. The sun warmed him. The rain nourished him when he was thirsty. And his roots grew deeper and deeper and stronger. The soil had other roots, and they were growing just like he was. There were other acorns. Remember, his friends fell off first, so they were growing too. Tiny green shoots raced forward to the sky. At first, he was still, hiding underneath the other big branches of the older trees above him. He was a little shy in the beginning. They could hardly see him because they were very tall. Seasons passed. It would be summer and fall, then winter, then spring, then summer again. And Oliver grew taller. He started to grow branches. And what happens when you grow branches? Who do you think comes to sit on your branches? Yeah, the birds came to perch. And they gave the birds something to stand on, those strong branches of Oliver's. Something on which to build their nest. Even the squirrels came. They scampered around his trunk and ran up and down as they played in the warm air. Because now we have birds and squirrels that like his branches. And then one day the butterflies danced on his leaves. How sweet is that? Have you ever seen a butterfly? I see butterflies all the time in the forest. Years later, Oliver was no longer a little acorn. He had become a tall, strong, beautiful oak tree, just like he had dreamed of. He was one of the strongest and the tallest trees in the forest. On one of his branches, a tiny new acorn clung tightly to one of his branches, just like he did when he was little. He was high up, and Oliver wondered if this little acorn was afraid to let go, just like he was. Do you think he was scared to let go? Yeah, I think so. This made Oliver smile. One breezy evening, the old owl returned and looked up at Oliver. See, you are brave, and now you stand tall with the other trees. Oliver shook his head proudly. Someday, the little acorn on his branch would have to let go and be brave too. And so the forest grew, one brave little acorn at a time. Yeah. Have you ever had to be brave? Were you able to find your courage? Was it easy or was it hard? Something to think about. Well, this is Nanna saying bye-bye for now, and I will come tomorrow and read you another story from Snuggle Time Short Stories. I see you later. Bye-bye.